Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney met with First Nations leaders from across the country in a summit yesterday to talk about Bill C-5. This is the bill that was brought in to allow big major infrastructure projects to be fast-tracked across the country. The government says the bill is necessary for national interest in light of tariff and sovereignty threats from the United States. Manitoba Kiiwetinoong Ogimakinaq Grand Chief Garrison Settee was at that meeting yesterday. He joins me now. Good morning, Grand Chief.
Good morning, Michelle.
Thank you for joining us. Now tell us how the meetings with Prime Minister Mark Carney went yesterday.
Well, I think that we came there with a lot of uncertainty as to how the conversation would go, especially when you consider the fact that it was done so abruptly and with a lot of questions that needed to be asked. So there was a lot of questions raised, and rightfully so, because this is something that affects the treaty rights and Indigenous rights of our people. So it was a very critical conversation. Now,
what are some of the biggest concerns First Nations people have about Bill C-5?
I think that anything to do with our rights is always important. Anything that will impact our rights is also like something that we continue to raise, because it impacts our lands, our waters. Any project that happens will ultimately affect our people.
And so after yesterday's summit meeting, how did you feel? Do you feel like you were heard?
I think that there was an opportunity for major issues to be raised, and there's some reserved optimism by a lot of our chiefs, and there's those that are still skeptical, because the Prime Minister stated that that trust is based on he wants our trust, but there's no constructive assurances and how that process will be defined. So we remain reserved in our optimism and ensuring that the process is co-developed by our people. That's the only way it'll work.
Now, many Canadians, of course, are worried about the threat coming from the U.S. What are ways that we can work together to protect our country? There's many people who are worried about U.S. threats coming when it comes to our sovereignty, as well as, tariff threats. What are ways that we can work together to protect our country? We're really bringing in some of these. This bill was brought in to protect our country from threats coming from the U.S. Do you think, what can we do to work together to ensure that our country is protected?
Obviously, we want to work with Canada. We want to be part of the economic prosperity of Canada, and we must figure out a process that will be mutually beneficial to all of us. So I think that going forward, we have to have assurances that we will be part of the economic prosperity, shared wealth, and also revenue sharing is something that's very critical, and that is the only way it'll work. In order for us to be part of this process, we must be assured and guaranteed that we will not be left out of the prosperity nor participating in the development of the poor process.
Well, Grand Chief, thank you so much for giving us your perspective and giving us an update on the situation. Thank you.